Thank you very much, Sister Lana, and also all of our brothers who are with us, here in the podium, the chair of the OIC and the chair of the committee, the Ministerial Committee, Saudi Arabia, the chair of the Ministerial Committee that emanated from the summit that was, that this resolution came from that committee, led by our brothers in Egypt. In fact, I believe that the foreign minister of Egypt was the one who sent that draft to us before the committee came to New York in November. Of course, my brother from Mauritania is the chair of the OIC Ministerial Committee. Often you see us, stand before you, representative of different groups and ambassadors from different groups. We appreciate that. We thank them. We thank United Arab Emirates, the Arab representative in the Security Council, for a remarkable job that she has done. And also my brother from Egypt, because Egypt took the lead in the negotiation and in the involvement regarding this draft resolution for obvious reasons related to Egypt and the Gaza Strip. Let me repeat from the beginning, we, the Arab group and the OIC, declared that we are working for 3 humanitarian objectives. 1, to stop this war against our people in the Gaza Strip, which means ceasefire, ceasefire, ceasefire now. And then 2 is to have humanitarian assistance up to scale. And in fact, operative paragraph 4, which our brothers in Egypt were pushing so hard for it, we trust that the UN to be responsible for the verification of thousands of truckloads in order to enter the Gaza Strip at scale that asked for by the SG, so that it caters to the needs of the Palestinian people in all parts of the Gaza Strip. And the third part is related to stopping the forced transfer outside of the Gaza Strip to Egypt. And that's also another very clear concern of Egypt and all of us, because we don't want to have a second Nakba and Egypt to be at the receiving end of more than 2 million Palestine refugees. So these 3 objectives, we worked for them from the beginning and we are still continuing. We succeeded in going to the General Assembly twice and having resolutions that are more advanced than in the Security Council. And in fact, the last one, we had 153 versus 10 against that resolution. In the Security Council, now we have 2 resolutions adopted. They are not as ambitious as the ones in the General Assembly, simply because there are those who have a veto power and they can do with it whatever they want. And often it is being abused. And in addition to these 2 resolutions, there are a group of resolutions that did not succeed because of the veto or the lack of having 9 votes. This is where we are. We are continuing the march. We will not relent until we reach an immediate ceasefire and having the massive amount of humanitarian assistance to the Palestinian people in the Gaza Strip, and to stop the crime against humanity of the forced mass transfer outside Gaza. We are getting closer, but we are not there. We will continue going back to the General Assembly, to the Security Council, to the Secretary General, to establish the mechanism, to keep demanding that this war has to stop, because this is an awful war, criminal war against the Palestinian people. In this connection, as Arabs and OIC who have endorsed, the original text of a few days ago in blue that contained, among other things, operative paragraph 2, we are happy that the Russian Federation put it to a vote. We voted in favor. It reflects that the majority of nations are in favor of that, paragraph, but unfortunately it was denied because of the veto. So the veto was casted by those who did not allow the original operative paragraph 2 to be adopted, but yet the resolution was adopted because it has other elements of extreme importance to all of us, especially Egypt, with regard to the mechanism and working with the SG, and we will continue working in that direction until we reach our 3 objectives. We get closer and closer to each and every one of them, and we are grateful to all of our brothers and sisters from the Arab nations, from the OIC, and from others who are outside these groups, who stood with us all the way through, who reached the 153 countries adopting the resolution in the General Assembly, and the 104 that within a span of 24 hours co-sponsored that draft resolution in the General Assembly that led to the adoption of that resolution. We thank you very much.
In the resolution, it also talks about a unifying of West Bank and Gaza under the Palestinian Authority. Can you explain how that will work in a post-conflict situation?
All the parts of the state of Palestine is the business of the Palestinian people and their leadership. These are the things that we will deal with when the moment arrives of how we can deal with the new reality after the end of the war. But we never left our people in the Gaza Strip. We are intertwined, we are so connected, we are one. The Palestinians in the Gaza Strip, in the West Bank, in East Jerusalem, and everywhere there are Palestinians, we are one. We will never be separated, we will never be divided. How to run our affairs and how to govern ourselves, this is the business of the Palestinian people. The resolutions in the Security Council and the General Assembly reaffirm that, whether in the form of the state of Palestine and that the Gaza Strip is a key component of the state of Palestine, or whether in the form of the governance of our affairs, which is through the Palestine National Authority, which is running and functioning as much as possible in the Gaza Strip. Now there is war, and in the remaining parts of the occupied territory. Those who went and visited Rafah, including Ambassador Lana Nusseibeh, met with the Red Crescent, who are a key organization of the Palestine National Authority, and it is functioning inside the Gaza Strip, and they briefed them. They met with the Minister of Health Affairs of the State of Palestine, and they run the hospitals. They deal with all of the components of the health situation in the Gaza Strip. She briefed them, and they met also with the Minister of Social Affairs or Social Welfare, in which there are more than 100,000 people inside the Gaza Strip are part of the work and the affairs of this ministry of the Palestine National Authority of the State of Palestine. We do everything that we can to help our people everywhere, particularly those in the Gaza Strip. We are one, we will not be divided, and the governance is a question, and it is the issue for the Palestinian people to deal with. Thank you very much.